Welcome to another edition of the Dental Today podcast. Thank you for stopping by. This is brought to you by LabMediatv. My name is Hezekiah Morales, and here we go. Remember to follow us on social media at LabMediatv.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Dental Today podcast. We are at LabDay Chicago 2020 at the Hyatt Regency. Very pleasure sitting here with Brian and Christina Heaslip. Heaslip. Welcome to the show.
Thank you
so
much.
For having us.
So exciting to be able to see a couple working in such perfect synergy and harmony to make sure that the industry has what they need, whether it's the patients in the lab side, or it's the people that are looking to get into digital through Dentsply Sirona. And it's very inspiring to us to see how you two are working together. We'd love to hear your story. So how about we begin at the beginning? How did you get involved in dental?
All right, you take it.
All right, well, I got involved when I was 2 weeks old. And
2 weeks old into what?
Into lab. My parents owned a lab growing up. And so I've always been a part of a lab. Always. And in high school, I started in the model room, and then I went into waxing and metal finishing, and then I did 14 years of building porcelain. And shortly after I broke off, and then my wife and I, we started our own business, Digital Dental Lab, and that is where we're at now. We're 5 years old, 5 years young, trying to grow every day. We built it from 0 doctors, and we have now 14 doctors who are pleased and happy with our work, and we just love them to death, and it's all keeping the patients first.
And Christina, how did you get involved in dental?
Well, first I met this guy in 2005, and our first date was a blind date. And I said, what do you do? And he says, I make teeth. And I was like, you make teeth? Because my background's restaurants. So he immediately took me over to the lab the next day and showed me what he did. And so then I joined Brian when he quit working for his parents. And he came home and said, quit my job. And I said, what? Because now we have 4 children, and I was a stay-at-home mom, and I was like, okay, so what are we gonna do? And he's like, I want to open my own lab. And I said, let's do it. So that was 2014, and we went through a lot just to get approved for our loans and all that. And September 2014, we got our first case from our doctor. So it was April to September. We just focused on a business plan. We focused on what we wanted to our goals, what we wanted what our lab. Tongue-tied. We wanted to make sure what we wanted out of our lab, what we wanted our lab to do for our family was to give us enough just to provide, because we are very busy with our family. It's our number one. So we wanted to make the lab work to where we could have our time with our family too. And that's what we've done. We've grown it to where our workflow is where we can turn off at 5 o'clock and be with our family.
Wow.
So, but over this past 5 years, just the way we didn't want to grow super fast. We didn't want to just be like bombarded with all this.
Yeah, we let our business grow itself.
So
organically.
Yes.
Yes, we did not rush into anything. We started with a few doctors, and as word of mouth got around, we started gaining more doctors as we became comfortable with our equipment. We learned our equipment. We
learned our products.
Learned our materials and products, and that way we knew what we were going to offer to them, to the doctors. And so now when we walk into an office, we know what they're going to get, and they know what they're going to get. And so it's just with the digital workflow, it is streamlined. And I tell you, I couldn't be more happier. You're growing up and knowing how we used to do it do it growing up, waxing, casting. Now I press a button, and I know what I'm going to get when I press that button.
Wow. And so you, Christina, are from a restaurant background. Brian comes home and says, we're starting our own lab. Obviously, it's definitely a shock when the conversation begins. I mean, I don't think that's that's something that we would guess. I mean, it's just the way it would be. But how did you two work it out to be able to get into what you just shared? Everything that you sat down, talked about goals, all this. But what was that ingredient? Or the ingredients?
So when we were a young business and had just a few teeth coming in a week, I worked multiple jobs. Christina worked multiple jobs. I learned how to be a bartender, which was fun. I love it, and every now and then I still go and do that if I get called. So and we focused on our business during the day, bartended at night. She waitressed at night, raised our children. I tell you what, we knew that through prayer when we were going to open up, I knew God kept telling me, I've got you, and that gave me the assurance to take this leap and to buy a bunch of equipment and to just have that faith that we were going to be okay. And I knew it from the start, and it has proven every step along the way that we are taken care of, that God does have us.
So our number one ingredient would be faith and love, because we love what we do. We love our clients. We love their patients. We live in a small community, so we get to see our products sometimes in the mouth, and they know who we are, so they're like...
They stop you in the store. Look
at my tooth. Look at my tooth. Thank you so much. They love it.
Or they'll request special tattoos on teeth, and they know that we put them first above anything else. Our patients come first because they are our community, and that's what we focus on. That we do a lot with our children, our kids around town, because it's important. Our community is a strong, tight-knit community, and we're right there with them.
So when was the point where, was it a financial point? Was it a goal that was met when you said, okay, we're going to put aside the waiting on tables and bartending, and now we're going to focus on developing what we've got in our hands? What was this point? Was it a goal? Was it a point in time?
We said we would stop doing our bartending and serving when our lab reached a point of where we needed to be there.
We needed to focus on the lab.
And one day I was like, I can't do this anymore. It's either me focusing just on our lab or I have to hang it up. And I told my father, we're at the point where remove us from the schedules. We're as need. If you need us, I'll come.
Need us, we're here.
We're here, but now...
Yes, we really, it happened.
It happened.
We just got too busy where I said, I can't go and bartend. I have a lot of work that I have to do. But I would still go and I would work until they had a replacement, and because I couldn't leave them hanging also. So they got a replacement.
I think my family knew we were getting to where it was time for us to let that go. Because my father called us every single day for 2 years. How many did you get today? How many did you get today? And it's just a huge encouragement every day. And I'd say every day was a different number. One day he called, how many did you get today? 22. What? 22, you got 22 teeth today? It's Monday. I'm like, yep, we got 22 teeth today. We're not going to be there tomorrow. And he's like, it's okay, I got you covered, So it's exciting. It's great to have people encourage you to grow. And that's why Serona encourages us along that way too. And so the community that they have built, and
It's
we
a
have
tight-knit family
and we're
at Dentsply Sirona. I know that if I need help, I can contact anybody, and within seconds I'll have a response, and we'll get past it.
it's that community. Sometimes it takes an army, right? But just a good, strong community could get you through anything.
Because we're all in the same boat. You know, we're all looking to make the best choices for our patients and get that as easy and fast as possible in a timely manner.
And so, in the time when you are receiving all these cases and receiving the responsibility of making sure that the patient are taken care of, it was more so by what I'm listening to here, a time limit in the day, where you felt that I can't stretch the time any further. So that's when you decided, okay, now we have to sit down and figure out where we're going to focus our strength, our mind, everything.
Yes.
Is that correct? Time
Time
Yeah,
is
there's
everything.
only 24 hours in a day. You know, and you've got to choose that wisely. You know, when it was just the two of us, I'd end up working till 2, 3 in the morning sometimes, until we were able to afford an employee that is finally, and you know, we've had an employee for a year now, and now I'm able to go to bed at 11 o'clock at night. I haven't done that in years. And now having that has given me that freedom to be able to stay at the bench and make the teeth.
Because during that time, when it was just us, we'd wake up and go get our kids off to school, get in the lab, because I was doing all the pickups, deliveries, billing, answering phones, model room, do the model room, and 2:30 rolls around and we're like, all right, who's picking the kids up today? Who's staying here? Who's doing what? And it came to a time where it was like, all right, I'm out here picking up cases. Can you go get the kids? And he's like, yeah, I hate leaving the bench because, you know, we have to pick our kids.
Still have to make it up, you know, and still have to get the kids to dance. And
so it came during that time we were like, all right, what's more important, Brian at the bench or him leaving to get the kids? So we hired an employee, and now she does that, does all our pickup, delivery, does them all. She basically took over my position so I could focus more on, number one, our family, number two, marketing, and I do all the billing. So I'm still down there. I also do all our 3D printing now. So Brian doesn't leave the bench until 5 o'clock, 5:30.
Makes things a lot easier.
He's able now to coach wrestling in our community. So, which is...
That's fun. I love going back to the mat and helping these little kids, because our community's got a strong wrestling program, and I've built that from high school, and now I'm able to give back and get these little kids ready for the mat time.
But it's also it's
right.
him and a doctor or a dentist in our community, so they're doing it together. So
Or the coaches.
We create smiles for patients and children.
It's
But
something I
it's
love
great.
to do.
It's great.
I love to do it.
We focus on our relationships with our clients. It's important to us to have a relationship with anybody, really.
I've
You're
got
never
every-
getting rid of us now because we're creating a relationship. But
Every doctor has my personal phone number, and I'll take a call at 10:30 at night. If they need to talk and that's the only time they have a chance, I'm there.
We FaceTime with them.
And it just makes life so much easier on the digital side because I can share with them my design, and they can approve it before we even go forward with it. Or if they're asking for zirconia, I say, I think we got to go a different route with this at the moment. And they listen. They say, okay, let's spend $300 on temporaries instead of paying $3,000 for zirconia. let's take this in a little step, because I'm seeing some things that don't add up. So, and it just makes things a lot easier in the digital world to be able to do that.
And the doctor listens when you
Yes.
have these, because of the communication.
And
Yes.
for
You have to have
you
that
have to have
communication.
Communication is everything. It's hard. It's hard to get the communication rolling with our clients. It's always been a wall between the dentist and the lab, and our goal from the beginning was to knock that wall down, because we think what greatness we could create if we just communicate, right? So, and that's when we have meetings, that's what we tell them. You know, we respect your privacy. We're not going to text you at 1 a.m. with a question. Like, we respect your privacy, but when we need you, we need you. So,
And vice versa.
and
We're
vice
here for
versa,
you,
we're
whatever.
here for you whenever. So.
Wow, communication with the doctor has enabled the trust. Now there is a synergetic dynamic between the laboratory and the clinical. That's amazing. Now, you are wearing Dentsply. You did mention Dentsply. We're here in Chicago. You're in the Dentsply Sirona room, helping other dental technicians and other doctors
Sure.
that are looking to find, let's call it, solutions for certain, let's call them challenges. And you are there. How long have you been key opinion leaders or advisors with Dentsply Sirona?
2016, they asked us to join them, so we did. In 2016, I did my first panel at Sarah World, which I was new to everything, and it was very exciting to have our just shell
It was
shock.
new to
It was
us.
new
You
to
know,
us.
we're from a
Everything-
small
we're
town in North
yeah,
Georgia.
So
And then you're sitting at a huge 5,000 people convention, and
if not more, right?
right, and
Yeah.
you're at a, being able to talk about what we do.
Yeah, it's
And
exciting.
It's been a journey.
Yeah.
It's been a journey.
Brian
and
was able to go out and train some other labs. I was a speaker in Carlsbad, California at the marketing summit. I did, because I bake cookies for our clients, and like
you got to
really
cross
good
that
cookies.
personal touch.
Yeah, it's
you know,
the
a lot of
personal.
front desk ladies, when you walk in, oh, here's another lab. Here's another lab.
And
Because
I've
they get
been-
hit every day with that.
I've
And
been-
so we've tried to cross that bridge of, let's break that ice a little differently. Nothing better than a warm cookie to break that
Right.
ice. Next time she walks in, they said,
Are you the?
here's that cookie lady coming in.
Yeah.
Hello, Christina.
I was like, we do make teeth too, but if you love our cookies, you will love our teeth. And she says, well, I'm glad you're back because we have a case for you. And I was like, awesome.
That is so exciting.
But I mean, I've been shut down too, and it's a part of it. It's part of growing. It didn't stop me.
No.
It made me cry, but it didn't stop me because this guy encouraged me to get back on it. Wipe them away. You're fine. But it's not. I was told I was wasting my time, and I don't think time is wasted. I'm not here to waste your time. I don't want to waste your time. I don't want you to waste my time. I don't waste time. Like,
We're supporting our family.
yeah, I'm here to. So she didn't get my cookies either.
No cookie for you.
No cookies. No
No
cookies.
cookie for you. So I definitely have to travel sometime to Georgia and try those famous cookies.
Right.
You sure can.
The lab growing cookies.
Yeah. The growing.
And
good.
for Thanksgiving, she bakes, or we actually
Yeah,
this
we
year
did
we
this
bake
year.
apple pies for all our clients, and she's got a
Homemade apple pies.
homemade apple pies, and she has a tooth
Cut out.
cutout that she puts on top
top.
of it, and it's just wonderful.
And I walk into an office and they're like, do you have any extras that I could buy for my Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow? And I'm like, actually, I do have an extra one, but you don't have to buy it. And she's like, no, I want to pay you. And I'm like, I'm not going to take your money.
Have
Enjoy
a pie.
my pie.
Enjoy it.
You know, it does have a tooth on it. And they're like, well, we're a hygienist, so they wouldn't expect it.
It's all in the family.
It's all in the family.
It's all
That's
in the
right.
family.
That's right.
So this is what you're doing now. This is a fairly new project for you, becoming key opinion leaders and advisors for the industry, whether dental technicians or doctors. This is what you're doing now. What is in the future for whether it is your key opinion leader, U.S. key opinion leaders, and also the laboratory?
We're ready to go to our next. We're ready to do our next 5-year plan because we hit every goal. So now we're ready to grow.
We're going to kick it up a notch.
We're going to kick it up a notch. Doing a new territory. We're changing our territory because right now our territory is just our local community. So we're in every town from Jasper or Canton. So there's a highway that runs. It's called 550.
A corridor
that runs from Atlanta all the way to the end of Georgia. And so we pretty much have every town from Blairsville, Georgia to Woodstock, Georgia. So now we're going past that, and we're gonna nail it. Hopefully, we can do it.
It's our goals, and spread the word about digital technology and just the benefits of being a digital office and working with a digital lab, because that's what it comes down to. 100% of impressions have blemishes, 100% of them. And digital impressions, if they're done correctly, they do not have imperfections. And the fit is just impeccable.
But we're not strictly digital. I mean,
No.
we're here for our traditional impression takers because what they're getting is a semi-digital crown because it is still a model. We still pour up your model's being scanned and digitally designed, then milled, then out the door. So
It's a hybrid.
yeah.
And then obviously, Brian, you coming from a background of the analog, the manual processes, and now the digital processes that you have found that have elevated your efficiency. What are the differences that you've seen in these two worlds? And obviously, as I know you're marrying them, but what are these two differences?
The differences are speed. If say you have a crown that cracks, or you say you hit the margin on a PFM, or you used to have to go back, re-wax it, invest, cast, metal finish, opaque. You're 2 days behind.
Yeah.
You're 2 days behind at that point. Now I go and I press a button, and then the next day I'm back and ready to go, and even that same day if need be.
Yeah, we've had the doctor say, "Oh, Brian, I was seating the crown and I slipped out of my hand and the patient swallowed it. How fast can I get this crown?" We're like, "We'll have it for
tomorrow.
you. We'll have it for you tomorrow." And they're like, "Really?" And we're like, "Oh yeah, we already have you in our computer. All we have to do is remill it and put it up, center it, and
Just press a button.
stain and glaze, and we're ready to go." And
I'll
they're
have
like,
you ready to go.
They're like, "Oh man, you guys are great. We appreciate
Patients going out of the country.
patients going out of the country," or we're there for that. Like,
I'll put time in
we'll
for
put
that.
time in for your patient.
We'll take care of you.
Might cost you a little more sometimes, but
As it should.
as it should.
As it should.
Yeah, and we'll do. I think we're fairly priced
All right.
for our product. I don't want to go in with, our quality is worth every penny. So if they want it less, we're good. We're
There's
good
life
on
for
that
that,
price.
too.
There's like, yeah, we might lower a little bit, but we're not gonna lower it too much.
Very interesting. Very interesting. So now you're saddling up for the new business plan for the next 5 years, looking to move into a new aspect of territories and your marketing and looking to incorporate more technology.
Yes.
Oh yes, definitely.
What technologies are you looking to?
We're actually here looking for 3D printers right now.
That's something I think, 3D printing has come a long way in the last couple of years, and there's a lot of options. It's kind of like the cereal aisle at Walmart. There's a lot of options out there, and just being a small lab, we really have to focus on. For us, it's a big purchase, and so we want to get the right fit for our office, for our lab, and because it's something that we can offer different products, go into splints and night guards and stuff like that. I think will be an easy. It's something easy to add with the 3D printer, and these printers are just getting better and better and better.
So the precision of 3D printers. Obviously you're both in the market doing one for your laboratory, but I'm sure you've already seen the product that it renders.
Yes.
And you're already satisfied with that product. You don't feel like we're behind anymore. It's the precision is where you want it to be.
It's there.
It's there.
And when you come to a place like Chicago, LMT, Chicago LabDay, you get to speak with a lot of different technicians, and because we're all in the same boat. We're all looking for printers. We're all looking for new mills, for new software, the new greatest 2020 softwares that are out today, this year. And because you got to stay on top of it. If you get complacent, you get behind really fast. This is the digital world. Things change every year, and you got to be up to date with that, or you're just falling behind.
Wow, that's powerful. That's powerful. So right now you're looking into a 3D printer, and you're going to be adding that to the arsenal.
We already have a 3D. We do have a 3D.
Yeah, yes, you do.
We're ready for a bigger, a better.
I want to take it to the next level.
We're going to take it to the next level.
That's amazing. Yeah, because you did mention that
Yeah.
you're also taking care of 3D printing at the moment. Fantastic. And what infrastructure in terms of what kind of computers are you running all your systems with?
We're actually about to upgrade all that too.
Oh, wow.
Because we still have our original computers from our first purchase with Dentsply Sirona.
Oh,
so,
wow.
And we're about ready to.
And they've been workhorses. They've
they're
got us through,
workhorses.
but we have to.
If we're wanting more, we're going to have to upgrade
More horsepower.
more horsepower.
Oh yeah. That's what you need. You got to have it,
Yeah.
because computers they can only take so much, And I tell you, we put the strain on them. And
We're like, can you start up today, baby?
like that old
working.
car,
Like
that old truck. You gotta pet her. You gotta treat her nice sometimes.
Warm her up.
Too bad it doesn't take cookies, right?
Right.
That's right.
If I could feed a computer cookies,
Would be good.
You wouldn't have to upgrade.
I wouldn't have to upgrade.
How exciting. When are we going to see you next? Where are you going to be lecturing? Where will you be present that our followers can find you?
You never know.
Rob you, just kidnap you for a couple moments and pick your brains.
So the next show that we're doing, just us by ourselves, we were going to attend the Hinman, that is Georgia's
That's the Atlanta meeting.
the Atlanta dental meeting to go to for the state of Georgia, really. So
That's where we'll be
that's
next.
what we'll be next in March.
Wow.
And we actually team up with one of our doctors, and we have a fun time with her, and we all get rooms on the same level. It's fun. We dress up. We one year they had a masquerade, so we got our mask, and Brian and I
Milled a bunch of teeth.
and
put teeth all over the
redesigned
mask
our
and-
mask. And then our doctor was like, I was like, do you want some teeth on your mask? She's like, yes, I do. So I took hers in her office, and I did all theirs, and we're at the party, and people are stopping us saying, are those teeth on your mask? And we're like, yeah, we made them. Here's our card, because we're in a room full of dentists at that meeting. So we're just passing out our cards, and we've had some feedback from that. So
That's so amazing.
it's exciting.
So that's going to be in March. So
March
everybody that's in Georgia can
19th,
find
I
you
think.
there.
We will be there.
We'll be
That's
there.
fantastic. Well, we appreciate you being very generous with your time, coming out and sitting down with us and sharing your experiences. I have a feeling we will be sitting down very shortly again. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on the Dental Today podcast. Until next time.
Thank you so much, Hezekiah.